Today I'm going to show you how to draw a cupcake and shade it in using oil pastel. So first I'm just drawing the bottom of the cupcake paper, and I made sure that the top is curved slightly down like a smile while making the little zigzag patterns. Then to make the frosting, you're going to do those little bumps, and then you're going to do the same bumps on the other side and make sure that there's like a little pointy part of the frosting on top. And then for the actual frosting texture, I just connected the bumps and made little lines. And I'm trying to add some of the like spiral designs that were in my reference photo, but I'm not being super picky about it being super realistic. I'm just trying to add a little bit more details so that it's not just like plain frosting. So I'm adding those lines and I'm doing everything in pencil so I can kind of gauge where I want everything. And then I'm going to start connecting the lines of the zigzags, but I'm not doing both lines of the zigzags. I'm just doing the part that is facing down. So like the pointed down part, like if they were arrows, the one that's pointing down. And then I'm going to take the white oil pastel, and I'm going to trace over those lines that I made in pencil. And as you can see, it's kind of hard to get the oil pastel to be pointed and like a fine detail. So it's a little bit difficult because you can't really sharpen the oil pastel, because if you did sharpen it, then as soon as you used it, that edge would be gone. So then I'm going to go and add some of the highlighted areas of the frosting using the white. And I'm not going to do the entire thing of frosting with the white, because I know that I wanted some of the frosting to look like it was like swirled with some pink and some red. So then I'm going in and I'm taking this peach color to try and add like a base for the pink to go on top of. And then I'm adding more of the pink for having that like swirled look. And then I decided, you know what, I kind of want to add a little bit more pink in there. So that's what I did. So it wasn't exactly half and half. And then I'm going in and I'm adding blue to add a little bit of that depth, like the shadows, because I don't want the shadow to just be black. I think that it would add a little bit more depth and dimension if the shadows had a little bit of a blue undertone. So then now I'm adding that black in there, and I'm trying to press really lightly with the black so that when I go over it again with the white, it can blend nicely and it's not too much black, it's not too dark, but that it does give that kind of vibe of it having shadows. So then now I'm going to take black along the edge because I want it to be a little bit dramatic for the shadows on the one side. And then I'm going to go back in with some pink and then just start blending and blending and blending. It's just so many layers when you're using oil pastel. So, I mean, if you feel like you're messing up, you can always go over it with another layer. And so then I just took the white and I'm blending again. I'm adding more highlights and trying to make that frosting look a little bit more realistic. And so then I'm going and adding like a thicker layer of black, not like thicker like I'm pressing harder, but it's like a wider layer of that black. And I press really, really lightly. Okay, and then now I'm like separating those different spiral sections with a little bit of black. So then now I'm going to take that pink and I'm basically just going to color in over where the white was with the pink, and not completely shading in the whole entire thing super, super dark, because we're going to do layers. So as you can see, there are some little speckles of the black paper showing through, and that's totally okay. So then now I'm taking the black again, and I'm just going to refine those zigzag patterns, and then I'm going to darken in that side where I want the shadows to be more dramatic. And then I'm going to also add a shadow at the bottom. And then now I'm going to draw the lines with black so that it has those shadows, that depth, that dimension, to make it look like the paper has those shadows and that depth, like I was saying. So I noticed that I messed up a little bit, so I took the pink and went over it, and then I'm taking the black and trying to redo it. And you can always try and like erase basically when you feel like you're messing up, by just going over the layers again. So I added red because I was like, you know what, I think that it would look better to have a little bit of red in the cupcake. paper. And so I did that and I was like, yep, I like that. That's good. And then I just knocked off all of the little shavings. And then I'm adding some red into the frosting because I think that the way that I was looking at it was just the pink. It seemed like a little bit boring. So I added some red and I was like, yeah, this is cute. And then I was like, whoa, that red is so dirty. So then now when I'm adding the cherry, the red is clean because I wiped it off. And then I'm going to wipe off the white as well to make that clean. Add a highlight to the cherry. And then I'm going to take black and I'm going to add a shadow to the cherry. And so I added that shadow on the side where I had all those dramatic shadows. Then I realized, I should probably add some more black. I did it really, really lightly and so that it could be blended nicely. And so then I went in and I was adding more black. And then I'm going to blend with the oil pastels. And then I'll take a lighter color to blend on top of that. And then I will have all of those details exactly how I wanted it. So I took the white and I'm like, okay, that side needs to be lighter and then this side needs to be darker. We're just blending. And then I'm going to blend all of those shadows in as well and try and touch up some details. And then I'm done.